What does femininity mean to you?
I think that for me, femininity, I think it's a flawed concept because for me, I'm a girl's girl. Like, I will put a woman that I don't even know before a man every single time. And I just believe that femininity, in a traditional sense, was created by men.
Yeah.
And I think that in itself is flawed because men have stabbed themselves in the bum by doing that. Because now we have the sense of men feeling like they're not masculine enough, but that term itself was also created back in the day.
Yeah.
When, like my dad says, he's a provider, and that's great. That's understandable, as you should be. But in today's sense of like South Africa's present economy, like all those type of things, you cannot only have a man as a provider. There is no space for that anymore in the society, as it might have been back then when men didn't give women the opportunity to even have jobs.
Yeah.
And that is why they were traditionally in the house.
Amen.
And I think for me, it's so like catch 22 because catch 22?
22,
Catch 22 because
Plus
like a guy once told me, one of my friends actually, he said, do you know, it's so interesting, but I've never seen you as someone who would settle down and get married. And I was like, huh? I was like, I didn't know people think of me like this, like what? And I was like, why? And he was like, you're just so like career driven and like business focused. And I was like, that in my brain does not make sense because like I've always had to be someone that works or has, like at least plays their part in a household in that way. But at the same time, balance it with my feminine side, which is like my cooking. Like I love cooking and I love the feeling of giving back to your family in that way.
Feeding.
But at the same time, I don't think that cooking is a female thing.
No.
Because then you meet men who have now moved from their cities, like with their families, and now they have to cook for themselves. And they struggle because they were never given that opportunity in their households to take up that space, and now they suddenly just can't cook, and now what are they going to do? Do you know what I mean? And they feel bad for themselves because now they love cooking, but it's not a masculine thing to do. And I think that that's why femininity as a traditional sense is flawed. Because women can do anything that a man can do.
Literally.
Yes, you can say, oh,
and things that men can't do.
Yeah, you can say, oh, you can't lift this amount of weight. Did I say I want to? Like, do you know what I mean? And I think that in a worldly sense even, I think a lot of our problems come from men. And men that believe that they are so masculine and that they need to be the specific type of man. But it actually flaws everything that's going on because at the end of the day, like a woman has a maternal instinct. They have those capabilities that actually make the family, like your house, so much better, so much softer. Like, and I feel like if we had more women in like bigger positions and positions like structural positions like that, I feel like our world would be so much better. And I think that that's something that I want to push is that women can literally do anything that they want to. And it shouldn't be constrained by all these like stereotypes of, oh, you are a career-driven woman, so you must be a bad mom. Or like, you obviously don't have time for your kids because you're in the office. Like, yes, a woman will go to the office, work that 9 to 5, and then still come home for her kids and make sure that she's perfectly fine. And I think that like breaking down that masculine role is very important because a man can also be at home. If a woman wants to be a badass lawyer and makes like 6 million or whatever, then she must do that. And the man must sit and he must cook and he must play with his kids. Like he must have that space to be able to do that. And I think that that's something that amazes me about you is that you've always had that like you said that it was you and all the mothers. You've never had that concept of, oh, I'm a man, I mustn't be here for the children. Do you know what I mean?
No, for sure.
And I think that's so important because we want to see our dads in their soft like space. Do you know what I mean? Because if you're a hard dad, you're making hard children. And if you're a stressed out mom, because there's so many things that's happening in your brain, because you can't just be yourself, you have to be a specific type of woman, then you're also a hard woman. And I think that just basic understanding from both sides when it comes to femininity and masculinity, being your own and being a choice that you make is very important.